before the game starts.
So what would it mean to you to bring an international victory back home?
This is one of my dreams. What I need to do in Dota 2 is I want to be the top team in the world. If I win, that means I have already proved myself that I make it and I make my dream come true.
So you're really excited?
Really excited.
And you're ready? Do you feel ready?
I'm ready for that, yeah.
How have you been practicing? What have you been doing as a team? Boot camp, that sort of thing?
Yeah, we have a boot camp since last month. We go to Sweden, and I think we already get ready for this tournament.
What about the experience level of all of your teammates? How is that different? Are all of you really experienced, or some of you less so?
Well, my teams, we have 3 old players, right? Like KY, me, and Mushi. And the other 2, like Johnny and Kechi, they are still very new for biggest tournament. Like Kechi, this is his first year TI. So he never been so far and fight against a lot of strong team in the world. And Johnny, he got played from last year from the team I.M.O. So I think maybe still will be fine, but for Kechi, let's see in this tournament.
Is there anything else you want to say to fans of your team, fans of Fnatic? What would you say to people?
I would say to all of my fans that I hope we can play a beautiful game for everyone. Enjoy the game. Thank you.
Do you plan on bringing one of these back for them?
Well, I think I can make it.
Good luck.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
There it is then, Team Fnatic. The boys in orange are back via a number of different organisations, it has to be said. But nevertheless, they are here once again at the International and again find themselves in the lower bracket. But that won't fuss them at all. They've done it before and gone all the way through that lower bracket, and they'll have the confidence to do so again. They enter the key arena, as do Fnatic, to take their places in the booze. We've got plenty to discuss about these two teams. We'll start with Fnatic and Shiva. You spoke to Ohio earlier on in the year. You had a pleasure of an interview with him. You know him well, and lovely guy. Maybe a little overconfident in places. You know, kind of a bit of a bravado interview there, I know. But realistically, they aren't going to win the International, but they could go far. And because we know that they've got that kind of form, that they can surprise, you'd probably have them as your outside bet, wouldn't you?
For me, I mean, if you go to the International, no matter on what rank you are on any ranking site, you have to believe you can win it. Otherwise, you know, you don't have a place here. So I'm really happy that he thinks, you know, we can win it. And even if they don't, we'll provide a fun game for everybody. Well, I'm all for that. So
absolutely,
that would be great.
We need a few of that. I mean, we've enjoyed the best of ones, even if the teams haven't. We've definitely enjoyed it. It's been horrible for the teams, I have to say. A star player, pal. You know, as good as Ohio is, and maybe back in TI3, he probably was their best player. But right now, here and now in TI5, it's got to be Mushi, isn't it?
Mushi's always, he always performs super well at TI. And in general, he's a very scary player to play against because, you know, he can play anything. And he's always the backbone of whatever team he is in. So he got to be, you know, when you go into that game, you got to feel good about having Mushi on your side, you know, and he's going to play the game with me and try to win with me.
Okay. There's a number of other players in the team. Who stands out for you, Alan?
On Fnatic?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Ketchik-Imba has really shown flashes of brilliance as kind of the young gun player that started in a core position for them, made the transition over to kind of a hard farming 4 fairly well. I mean, really, this is an SEA all-star team. And, you know, Mad used the word legend in talking about our previous matchup. I mean, there is no player that you can call a legend in Dota 2 more so than Mushi. I mean, he and Fear really, to me, are the Roger Federers of Dota. And there's really nothing in the game that they don't do well.
Twitch chat is now going mad. There are 2 Roger Federers?
It could happen.
Okay. I'm glad you brought out Ketchik-Imba because I also want to catch up with Ketchik-Imba. Let's find out from him what he thinks of the International.
when I was 10 years old, I go to LAN Cafe with my brother, and we just starting to see all the LAN Cafe playing a Dota game, so we learned it there. Most of the older players at the LAN Cafe around 18 or 19 years old.
Kachi, he's easy to get close with everyone because he's just like very simple guy. You can talk any topic with him anytime.
Kecil means small in Malay, so everybody starts calling him Kecil because he's so small. And then he thinks he's overpowered or something, so he calls himself imbalanced. Kecil Imba, because he thinks he's a small imbalanced guy. Basically, we were representing Malaysia. After we achieved some achievements, the government looked at us, we were like, hey, these guys are pretty good and they're representing us. And then they start recognizing esports a lot more. They form a body, Esports Malaysia, to try to grow the esports scene. There are a lot of players, it's just that some of them are just not getting the chance.
I found Kecil because we play a lot of LAN tournament, and I feel that he can be very, very good in the pro gamer. So I asked him to join our team.
Almost every Malaysian player very look up to Mushi because he's a very skillful and experienced player in Southeast Asia.
Whenever people talk about Kecil, they thought of him as like, oh, he's Mushi's student, you know, he's Mushi's student, and that's all they think of it.
I think Mushi, it make me very a professional gamer. I think he's good guy.
I just treat him as my little brother. Also, I promised his mom that I will take care of him. I think he has a lot of potential in his future. He can be better than anyone in Malaysia, even better than me.
I absolutely love stories like that. They are, for me, what makes this tournament so special. It's not just the money, the trophy, the glamour and the glitz and the tournament area. It's stories like that, the human side of these stories. We've heard so many of them today, but that one's one of my favourites. We've got 30 seconds until the draft starts. Very quickly, we haven't really talked about VP, so we'll talk about them very quickly. Do they have what it takes to go through the next round?
Yeah, I think FNG is an excellent captain, one of the best in the CIS scene, and he's going to lead his team to victory.
Yeah, and G is the most explosive, one of the most explosive players in Pro Dota 2 right now. I mean, he averaged over 9 kills per game in this patch, is insanely aggressive early on, and that's where Fnatic can really have their problems. I see VP taking this.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll be right back with the draft.
Virtus Pro versus Fnatic.
Game on then. Game number 3. Best of 1. Winner takes all and goes through to the second round of the lower bracket. The loser is eliminated from the International 2015. Virtus Pro versus Fnatic into the draft.
Virtus Pro knows that Fnatic's very concentrated on winning their lanes. Ohio mentioned in his interview that they play each their own play style, not necessarily the team's play style. The team's play style is actually just win all 3 of your lanes, group up, and dominate. So if Virtus Pro can stop them in their tracks and pick lanes that are very difficult to dominate, such as Viper or Razor or whatnot, I think Fnatic's game plan is going to be ruined from the get-go.
And really, the first part of that conditional statement is the most important. Win all 3 lanes. Fnatic are really 2 teams. They are incredibly inconsistent in the laning phase. When they have a solid laning phase, they're an excellent mid-game team. But I have seen their lanes either due to the draft or due to poor execution early on. I've seen their lanes just fall apart, and that's why I feel like Virtus Pro is a pretty bad matchup for them. They need to draft for early lane stability here, I think.
Yeah, and then Virtus Pro is a very dangerous team to go up against because also they are very strong in the lane. And if you have any mistakes in early game, they'll punish you for it.
Probably the unluckiest of the teams to find themselves in the bottom 4 in either group, really, considering they also had to play in a tiebreaker and had to play their fellow CIS region Empire as well. So tough break for them, but they are still statistically the best team of the 8 teams in the lower bracket, Alan.
Statistically, yeah, I would probably fear VP up there with Vici Gaming and Navi. I would fear the most. Just having to play this team in a 1-game series is just so scary. I mean, if you look at G averages 4.4K net worth at 10 minutes. That's more than any other player. And I mean, he just is so dangerous a snowball player. And it looks like we might get to see the absolute. I am very happy that this happened. Mushi Shadow Fiend is probably, to me, one of the icons of the international.
It is, and in the opening film we saw today, you know, we had players like Ice Timbersaw, and you had Mushi Shadow Fiend, because he is the Shadow Fiend player, and Shadow Fiend on Radiant is way more scary. Like, special mention to the Silencer first phase ban. It's obviously something we haven't seen so far, but it is in this, like, in the main event, in the elimination game. But it's like one of the best picks right now for Virtus Pro. They've been very successful both on the carry position and on the mid position with G. So.
Now, Illidan's Silencer is absolutely terrifying. I mean, we saw him just absolutely dismantle a TA 1v1 mid, and he's not usually their mid player.
Yeah, and they actually wanted Gyrocopter rather in Illidan's hands than Silencer, and that says something for sure. I'm really curious to see how much effort Virtus Pro is going to put into trying to maybe shut Mushi down in that mid lane, because, I mean, you need to do something against him.
Now, this was something, by the way, that Winter brought up to me last night, that he really likes this Gyrocopter Dazzle combination, and it does turn out, when you look at all the hero pairings that have been played to the group stage here at TI5, Gyrocopter and Dazzle is arguably the most successful.
Yep. And not only that, but it also then sometimes goes on that you then get the Lina and the Tusk in there as well, and they become like a 4-pick, and we've seen quite a lot of those throughout the tournament.
I think Naga Siren's really good versus all of this, though. It's really good versus Dazzle, it's really good versus BKB Gyrocopter, and there's a reason why we haven't seen Naga Siren at all today. That hero is one of the best.
No. I mean, Naga is, when you see, there are a lot of teams in this year's TI5 that are very tempo dependent. And Naga is an excellent hero for dictating tempo. And I think she's also a pretty good support hero, at least in lane. I think you'll almost certainly see this as a support Naga Siren.
And you know, I'm going to bring that up right now because KYXY is one of those players. Like, the good thing also about drafting Naga that early, Naga is that type of hero. If you suddenly decide to play a Naga core and the other team is not ready for it, then it can sometimes pretty much be GG.